Welcome back, everyone, to Let's Play Yoshi's Island, Part 9. Just earlier this week, we braved the Lakitu bombardment, and then racked our brains trying to find the exit to a very beautiful cave. Now World 2-7 awaits us, and it looks like we're dealing with Lakitu again. And so we go from watching out for Lakitu to facing Lakitu's wall. We have what is quite literally a fat guy right up here. In addition to running around and looking kind of funny when he does, let's get rid of this egg to make things easier. You can actually eat him, and I don't care about the fact that that animation looked the same. That must have hurt making that egg. But something interesting about fat guy eggs is that they work like power blocks. Use them whenever there are a bunch of enemies around, and you're sure to get a bunch of stars. As you saw a moment ago, we have wall Lakitus now. There's a lot more of them, but they function just like Lakitus, and they basically stay in one place. Arguably, they're a little easier to take care of because of that. But now, you notice, these eggs, if you leave them solid, can let you get up here. Just off the start, we have a flower right here and another fat guy that will inevitably be helpful. And let's use this platform to get up here. A wing cloud, which creates stairs for us. Well, it's more of a straight walkway in this case, but you get the idea. Pounding these posts down reveals a red coin, and quick, let's take care of that fly guy and the two others that come with them. 3 red coins that way. Make sure you don't miss them. This post, I believe it has nothing, but let's be sure. Yes, it has nothing. Only its little friend over there had the red coin. This one I don't believe has anything either, but it's worth checking. This wing cloud has some stars. Watch out for the wall Lakitus here. And so get enough of these in shot. Let's eat the fat guy first. Let's get enough of these in shot, and you can use the fat egg, let's call him that, to power them. You saw it over here. There's a mini game hut. Let's find the key for it. Red coin here. Enemies on a Ferris wheel. This feels familiar. And dead. Alright, got the key. Let's check up here for a wing cloud with more stars. This post has nothing of note in it, but it lets us get back over there more easily. Let's see what minigame awaits us this time. It's another round of gather coins. The rules are the same here, the layout's the same. All the same strategies apply. Almost a shutout. Almost. But hey, I'll take this free egg refill. Alright, that's everything we have to do up here. Did I check this? No, there's nothing to note in here. Let's head back down. Well, the enemies respawn, not that it really matters much. Take out that wall Lakitu, get a star. Here's some flippers that work as a bit of a checkpoint. Interesting story. Those flippers actually reflect those spinies if they're thrown. I mean, not that it matters much, but it's a cool little detail. A flower up here. And that actually isn't a one-way path because you can just pound these posts down to get back and get yourself a red coin in opening them. We have some miles in a little area with a spring ball. More of them here. Careful. Ah, crud. Lost a fat egg. Oh, well, there's going to be more. Alright, you see some outlined coins here. Where's the cloud? In fact, it's directly below where that spring ball is. There's the switch, solidifying all of those coins. Unfortunately, it doesn't really do anything else. There's only 14 coins to be had by doing this. Bit of chump change, but anything, it's something, right? So over here, the shining fly guy is called a whirly fly guy, although shiny guy would work better if you ask me. Hitting him with eggs produces coins, and eventually something else should they behave. This one likes to fly over into that wall there. Good news is that won't be all we see of them, even in this level. Let's head back down here where these unusually green bullet bills are. You can eat those. They actually, because of how big they are, they also work very well as a tool to Goomba springboard to greater heights. Make sure you pound down both these posts because they each have a red coin in them. Now let's take the middle ring and see what's through this door. In fact, it's a narrow passage with fat guys covering spikes. Thanks for the ride, guys. One for us to eat. And actually, don't use it on these miles here. Because if you jump the gun with it, you'll end up powering this fat guy that you also want to make an egg out of. Whoops. There we are. Now with these tap-taps and milds in range. Pow! There we are. We have another fat guy here. Double check this. Yes, there was nothing in there, but you know, you can never be too sure. And here we have a tap-tap. Meaning, if we didn't have an egg, if we had accidentally piled that one fat guy before, we might not have one here. If we didn't have a portable power block or a cloud maker with us, we wouldn't be able to get that flower. Although, the good news is, if you do end up doing that, you can actually go right back into that passage, and all the enemies will respawn, giving you a fresh chance to get that flower. That's everything we have to do in this half of the level. Let's see what's down this pipe. A brief return of Donut Block Rag, and a less inviting return of these falling rocks. Make sure you hover here to make sure that you'll be able to jump up. Unnecessary. Okay, so you want to eventually start jumping on the higher blocks so you can reach these 2 red coins up here. The 2 red coins are all you need to get those, so if you didn't get all of the yellow coins on the way up to them, don't worry. Second half of the level kicks off with a whole bunch of posts, a shy guy, and that thing. The good news is, there's actually a trick we can do now, because you can pow the Eggo Dill! Ha ha! Ha! Ha ha! Ha! But now I have to deal with that thing. There's a red coin in that post. Anything in these? No? Sometimes your memory isn't always the best when it comes to all these tiny details. More posts here with a couple milds walking around aimlessly. If you jump on top of this block, you can get to a cloud, but you can't do a whole lot else except see a whirly fly guy take off. He'll respawn if you leave and come back, but first we need a way to get up there, and we don't have just yet. This middle post has a red coin in it. I don't want to save that mild, let's not kill it. And we have a big post up here with some very important stuff in there. Well, there's only one thing we can do here. I've been working on the railroad all the livelong day. I've been working on the railroad just to pass the time away. Let's take the smiled. Go in here, whoops, go in here, and give the tulip an offering. Am I really willing to sacrifice some mook's life for the sake of 8 coins? Apparently. Apparently I'm also stupid enough to get hit and make me wish I'd gone down here first before throwing it in there so I could get some stars instead. Up here we have another post. Actually, you do want to pound this one too, because I know for a fact that red coin is there. The fact that we hit that tap-tap doesn't matter a whole lot either, because here's more stars. Heading down here, there's another fat guy. Careful. Get this mild out of the way, and another red coin. So get out of the way. And we gotta pound this one down too. Well, don't have to. Or do we? Well, it's always worth a shot. Can't you hear the whistle blowing? Rise up so early in the morn. Can't you hear the captain shouting? Dinah, blow your horn. And there was a red coin at the bottom. Man, if this tap-tap gets in the way, you can just push him into the pit. Heading onward. Well, actually, we want to backtrack real fast because there's something very interesting. You take this all the way up. You can get up to where that whirly guy was. The first 3 hits give you coins, but from every hit beyond that, a 1-up, a second 1-up, and they usually explode after the 5th hit. But 2 1-ups and some coins is very nice for just a regular enemy. So let's be careful here. You can actually get up to this cloud, follow the clouds up here, to get over to this little hidden area where there's an invisible cloud that the fat egg actually can activate, revealing a switch with a hidden pipe. This section's a bit of a game of chance if you don't know what's already here. You gotta pick one of these vertical shafts and hope you get something valuable from it. Good news is, I practiced. And inside this second one is a flower. Take a look at the contents of these over here. We have coins, important item, nothing, and way over to the right, an enemy. You see, because in New Super Mario Bros. U, there's a little side area in World 6-3 that features a similar puzzle with the exact same contents in the 4 shafts. I'm not even kidding. Coins, important item, nothing, enemy. Seriously, go look it up. It's one of the most obscure shoutouts I've ever seen in a Nintendo game. Back to the main part of the level. We can head downward now. Pick up the final 2 red coins. Quick refill some eggs. Here's the what can only be the wall part of Lakitu's wall. Take that. This cloud here has a single coin amidst a bunch of wall Lakitus. One might wonder if they're starting to wise up, except I palled them. You go down here, find another fat guy. Go back up here. Oh, they're reinforcing fast. Go back up here, for a cloud that itself functions like a POW. Now we head up here. The cloud with some, honestly, kind of redundant stars at this point. No need for an egg block. We can just pick the Lakitus off the walls. Keep trying, guys. You're not going to hit me. Nope. Now we take this purple block, the likes of which we haven't seen since World 1.5, to get up here and aim straight up to get the 5th flower. And now the home stretch awaits us. That's not even a pun either. Just watch. There's a middle ring, and is that a car bubble? Are you a good driver? It's easy. Use B to avoid your enemies. And sure enough, we get to try out a new power. Dun-na-na-na-na! That message block wasn't entirely honest. You actually don't need to press just B. You can press either A, B, or Y to raise up and avoid enemies. In fact, it's not just useful for evasive maneuvers. You can use it to gain a little bit of height to land on, say, a platform. Heading onward. You have more coins, more enemies. You actually don't want to take this drop, though, because there's something important off to the left. Whoops. There's a platform here just out of sight before, with a little hidden area. Actually, if you raise your wheels up on the side of a wall, you can bounce up it. But that's not a whole lot important because we have the Yoshi block to get to before we run out. Because the spring ball takes us up to a helicopter bubble. Just what could be in store in this hidden little path. Going so far. 1-ups. That second one likes to be a little stubborn. You gotta aim a little lower for it. Following this down here leads to another 1-up and the Yoshi block. That alternate path nets you 47 coins and 4 extra lives. And unfortunately, as cool as the car morph is, that is the only time we'll see it in the original Yoshi's Island. There's one level exclusive to the Game Boy Advance version, and any subsequent eShop releases that also uses it, but unfortunately, that's it for the default Yoshi's Island. But hey, we got a gold ring and we got 100 points to cash in. No bonus though. $30, $20, $5, $100. That makes us 15 for 15. Finally, the castle. Kami must have really been pulling strings to make sure we had 2 ghost bosses here. Because for this one, he had to reach for a completely unique enemy. Now we enter the Potted Ghost's Castle. Or if you're playing a more recent version of the game, Roger the Potted Ghost's Castle. I guess the updated versions wanted to make sure even this level included the boss's name. Now we have a chamber with some platforming over lava. Yeesh. Well, 2 and they're already throwing this stuff at us. Fly guy with a free 1-up, thank you very much. These wooden poles, despite how treacherous they look, actually don't sink all the way into the lava. I think the better question is why they're not burning the shreds in the lava. You can stand on them safely, but they are very small, so be careful so you don't end up dying. More posts here. If at all possible, make sure you eat this lava bubble so it doesn't get in your way when you make this jump. As you started to notice here, platforms can behave very differently depending on their color and surroundings. Green platforms move the slowest. Come here, lava bubble. Let's take care of you before you get to be a problem. So as I was saying, green platforms move the slowest, the yellowish-orange ones move at more medium speed, and the red ones are very fast. Furthermore, you can tell whether a platform will turn around or just fall off at the end based on what's sitting at the end of its path. If there's a red ball, it will turn around. If there's nothing, you best get the hell off it at the end. This carry us to a flower, and there's nothing at the end there, so let's get the hell out of here. More platforms we can ill afford to spend much time on. You'll notice the yellow one does in fact move faster. And here's the middle ring, and the way onward. Up on the ramparts, look out for those thorns. They look kind of cool, but they are insta-death in the same way that spikes are. Let's ride this arrow rock over here. You notice that after that little training area near the end of 1-8, now these arrow rocks are a very crucial part of navigating this room lest you die. Already stepping things up. Take this pipe, hidden a little out of the way to reach what I can only assume is the top part of a castle tower, and a wind cloud which contains a train bubble. That one was in a wind cloud though, so you only had a limited amount of time to pull this one off. Make sure you chug along at maximum speed. And if you ended up taking the middle path, it's the wrong one because you only have yellow coins to find here. If you end up down here, you best reattach yourself to the wall and take this upper path fast. Pick up this flower, and if you were lucky enough, reach the Yoshi block in time to pick up these other 20 coins. Good news is if you don't end up reaching that flower in time, if you head down the pipe and come back up, the wind cloud will return. So you actually get as many tries as you need so long as you have the eggs. Continuing along with this arrow rock, there are 3 red coins here, so it really is a good thing we went out of our way. And here's the way onward. Yeesh, am I still in the pipe or what? This corridor is actually kind of claustrophobic, and it's very hard to see. Down here we have some coins that all look red, but only the middle one is. Before we head to the right here, we actually want to go to the left. Blue guys hanging up above in a scaffolding, passing a missile around, attempting to drop it on you. Pay attention to what's going on above. And remember, those explosions are actually very big. Here we have That's No Flower. The Dizzy Dandy is what that's called, although I kind of prefer the Japanese name. It's just fake flower, since that's what it actually is. If you get close, they make a freaky-ass face and start rolling after you. All it takes is to jump over it and let it just kind of roll to its doom. Here we need to actually use the missile. Wait for it to get passed over here. Opening up path to this flower. Now let's get out of here before another missile gets dropped on us. Things get a little more complicated here. Snap these coins and then get out of the way. This path will actually go away, so let's grab the red coin and move. This wind cloud has more stars. And now a vase. I wonder what could be inside. Now we have the challenge of pushing this while avoiding getting hit by stray missiles. A little further here. These guys don't have the best aim, fortunately. Whoop. And a key! What else? You guys really need to find some better places to put them. Whoa! Okay, also worth remembering that whether the missiles come in from the left or right is unique to every single one of these. Make sure you're paying attention or you'll find yourself getting hit. There's a fake flower. And in fact, there's a way to make the fake flowers move early, if you so have the means. Just hit it with an egg, and it scowls at you, and olé! And one more thing about these boo guys up here passing the missile is if you ground pound them, well, ground pound while they're on screen, and wrong button, they drop the missile immediately, and the guy holding them stares downward dejectedly while the others shake their head at his incompetence. I'll leave you 2 guys to sort it out. 2 guys? Only 2. But anyway, with the key in, well, following us, sit off to the right. Right now we have a relatively eventless room. When throwing, you may stop the aiming cursor by holding L or R. This can greatly increase your accuracy. It is in fact very helpful, but you actually only need to press L or R and just make sure you hold A. Or I suppose press A and don't press it again if you're using the patient control scheme. Aiming at this rotating gear with the question mark on it raises this spike pillar. Altogether a very safe room and a chance to learn how those obstacles work. In typical Mario fashion, the stakes will be raised in just a little while. Onward, here's that locked door that we just so happen to have the key for. Current paths continue. Off and up to the left here is another middle ring. We've been needing one of those. I'm not sure what that sound is over in the background there. Some kind of boing, some kind of water flowing. It's always sounded a little creepy to me. Through this door. Birds? Hey, wait a minute. Shouldn't you guys be back in World 1? Not that I'm complaining, because make quick work of them and you can get a flower. Etc. 2 coins that are red here. Off to the right. We see a layout that already feels familiar. And now the spike pillars, as expected, are a little more tricky. Need that to... Whoa! That was close. Be able to jump to this platform. An egg block here for convenience's sake. And another one where you have to move... Well, you have to aim while standing on a platform. Or actually just get close. Hope that you don't get hit and hope that the knockback doesn't propel you into the pit. Get close here and aim almost straight up. Don't aim too rapidly. Fall down for a flower. Thanks, Captain Obvious on the thorns, but he does know that you can destroy the thorns by hitting them with eggs, which might not be so apparent at first. That is, in fact, the key difference between thorns and regular old spikes. While both are insta-death, you can destroy a piece of thorn by hitting that piece with an egg. Eee, close one. Arrow Rock is even more, an Arrow Rock segment even more dangerous. That's a better way to word it. There we go. You can even see some walls that you get stuck in, like that one hidden area back in 2-1. And the fact that thorns are breakable is already very important because there's a wind cloud in here leading to a door, leading to the way onward. I still don't get how those doors are contained in the clouds. Oh boy. I like to call this room the Bandit's Garden. Why? Them, and him, and him. There are a total of 5 bandits in this area, all looking to run off with Baby Mario and presumably hand him over to Comet for the right price. Luckily, there is a middle ring here just to save your progress. Nothing of note in this upper area, but as you notice, there was a locked door over there, and we need to find the key. Amidst all of these bandits. Be very careful, of course. You don't want any unnecessary hits. Stun them and... Oh, you son of a... Come over here. A whole lot of different phases, though. It's as if they want to keep you in this area for as long as possible, so they have as many attempts to steal Mario as possible. As you just heard, that's red coin number 20. Where's the key? In fact, it's in this face over on the top left. It's always in that one every time. And the door is down here on the bottom right. A bit adios to these pains in the insert expletive here. One final stretch, 3 orange eggs, and another middle ring, the 4th of this level. In fact, you could have picked up no stars in this entire level, grabbed the first 2 middle rings, gotten hit, and had your timer brought all the way down to 10, and if you had touched those last 2 middle rings, you'd still be at 30. And even if not, there's a vase with what would have been 6 stars. And if you can hit this vase off its perch, 6 more. They're really being forgiving here. And spoiler alert, it's surprising considering this boss isn't all that hard. But nonetheless, on guard! Just a regular old vase, or so it seems. Yoshi dear, that baby is going to cause disaster to befall the Koopas. So give him here before you accidentally get hurt. Yeah, I love a shy guy just kind of chilling over there. What do I do? What do I do? That's no ordinary vase because the aforementioned Roger the Potted Ghost lives inside. He's actually, as mentioned before, a very unique enemy. His only real form of attack is to push you backward and blow will-o-wisps at you that are usually very easily avoided. But the Shy Guys actually do something because, left unattended, they'll slowly push Roger over toward you and attempt to wring you out. All overall, though, it's not all that difficult of a fight. Arguably the easiest one so far. Just keep pushing away, make sure you avoid the will-o-wisps. If you get close enough, you can, in fact, careful now, you can, in fact, push a Shy Guy off the ledge and make it so they can't push back, which leaves Roger in a very unfortunate spot, unfortunately. Speaking of the Potted Ghost himself, while he doesn't have a regular enemy counterpart in this version of Yoshi's Island, Yoshi's Island DS, the sequel, actually does have regular-sized Potted Ghosts. But Roger isn't there. Rather interesting. But, have a nice trip, buddy! See you next fall! Oof. 30, 20, 5, 100. 2 worlds cleared. And the fact that they are cleared perfectly means... once again, we unlock an extra level and a free bonus minigame that we can access at any time. Meanwhile, the island view, World 2's castle suddenly looks nothing like it does in the world map. No walls that resemble faces or anything. But nonetheless, this part of the island is free from comics influence. World 3 is looking a little jungly and monkey. Before we set foot in here, let's backtrack to World 2 and see what that bonus minigame is. Turns out, it's Scratch and Match. Because now we have a minigame that lets you get 1-ups rather easily, technically, if you do have the available time, you can use this to instantly gain, well, use this to eventually gain as many extra lives as you want. Technically infinite if you wish. Well, unless you have luck on my level. It's 1. It's something. But 2 worlds have been cleared, and now World 3 awaits us. Haha. Still a lot more of our adventure to go, though. And so we'll continue onward next time on Let's Play Yoshi's Island.